Not at all.
Not at all?
I said ciao. Wait, that's Italian. Never mind.
That's Italian.
Hmm.
Okay, it says we're live. I'm going to go into the group and see if we're live. I always want
Okay.
to check. Um, and yes, we are live. Hi,
Yay.
everyone. Hi on this glorious Sunday. I hope some of you can hop on and catch this interview I'm going to do with one of my favorite clients, Heather Bertrand. And we're just going to wait a few seconds here. Up, somebody jumped on. Hi, who's ever on? Say hello. Give StreamYard permission so we can see your name in the feed so we know who is on. Otherwise, we don't. We just see Facebook user. That's it. But they don't do anything with your name. So hi. Oh, 4 people have jumped on. Great. Perfect. They want to catch the interview. See what it's really like to work with me.
Yeah.
What is it really like? Right. So if you're hopping on, so say hello. And actually, Heather lives in, hi, Jill. Jill lives in London.
Oh,
Heather is
okay.
in Miami, one of my favorite places in the world. And I am in Portland, Oregon. So we are, hi, Kelly. Nice to see you too. So we are diagonally the furthest apart in the United
Yeah.
States, right? Not a
Yes.
diagonal, right? I think it's at least 3,000 miles
At
apart,
least.
at
Yes.
least,
Yes.
at least. So let's get the party started so we can chat. I'm going to have Heather. I'm going to introduce Heather. I'm going to ask her some questions, get her going, and then I'm going to have her tell you about her program because her program is so dynamic. Okay. So Heather is a Hashimoto hyperthyroid coach extraordinaire, right?
Right.
Did I say that
Right.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your journey and where you are right now up to the point of kind of meeting me, like, you know, when you decided to become a coach and share your expertise with the other people that have this disease. And then we'll talk about like where exactly you were with marketing and sales before you met me.
Right. Um, I don't even know how we connected, Dallas. I just knew that every now and then I'd see your face on my page, and you're always very nice. And I was in your group, but I'm not very active in any Facebook group. And I started coaching 2 years ago, on and off. Life happened. And I've hired a bunch of coaches. I've been in a bunch of programs trying to get this business off the ground. Um, and I would say that it wasn't very good. And a big part of that is because I hadn't niched down. I hadn't focused on a niche. So I had, a very small following. I had, my friends and family were supportive on Facebook, but it really, there's no real movement. But you had a challenge a few months ago. I feel like it was August. You had a challenge. And at the same time that you were running that challenge, I was wrapping up a boot camp in another coaching program, and I had decided I wasn't going to enroll with that coach because the coach is really good, really effective, but she was very energetic, and I'm not that high vibe, and so you messaged me and in my inbox, like, about this challenge coming up, and I said sure, I'd sign up, and I signed up. um, and I came to the training, and on the first day I was like, she just let the whole cat out of the bag, because all the stuff that you did on the training in the very first day are things that I'd paid so many thousands of dollars for, to learn, and I didn't learn, and you just gave it all away on this free challenge. And so we went through the whole week, and it was good, and I was like, okay, yeah, well, it's nice, but I still wasn't going to sign up with you because, again, I had enrolled in so many programs, and I was over it. I just felt like, at that point, I'd already learned enough. I'd already paid enough. Now it's time for me just to go put the stuff into action that I'd already learned. And that would grow my business. But you, once again, sent me a message in my inbox after the challenge, and asked how it was. And I told you it was really good. And I shared that, I was just afraid. I think I was just afraid. I said that to you, that nothing else is going to work. I've already spent thousands of dollars and I don't have any more money because I've spent all this money in coaching programs, thousands of dollars. My husband's the only income earner. And I just feel
I
like,
remember that.
yeah, that there's this huge deficit in our family budget because I'm always paying for coaching and I'm not making any. And I'm not even moving toward it. And so I don't know, but there was just something about you. You're so confident and so sure, but you were never pushy. You didn't push me to buy. You just listened to what I was saying. And you just gave me the assurance that by the end of our time together that I would know without a doubt what I would need to do to build my business. And I said, okay, fine. And I just listened and I paid attention. I said, okay, fine, I'll go to the sales page. And I went to the sales page and I looked at everything and I was like, okay, I have to go talk to my husband again about, another program. But I really did think that you could help me. It was very thorough, very clear how you help businesses. And I really, really needed that. And I was like, well, I don't know. So I said, okay, fine. I joined, but then I fell asleep. And it was right at the cutoff. I don't know if you remember. I fell asleep that night, and then we got together the following day, and I haven't looked back since. It's been a wonderful experience.
That's great. That's a great story. Yeah, most of us, by the time you come into my program, and me included, until I got it, like the exact process of how you actually market and sell on Facebook, we're spending all this money on these piecemeal types of courses that don't make any sense in the big grand scheme of things. There's a process, and you might be taking the course that's the tail end, but you don't know how to get started. Or you have this beginning, and then what? Right?
Yes.
Or you have email marketing, but how does that all tie in? It's too piecemeal, or people are not giving it away, giving you the whole thing in a package program, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Or there's no accountability, there's no assistance, there's no support.
Right.
So you buy these coaching programs or, courses, do it yourself, and then you get halfway through and you're stuck. Now what?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's my experience, right? So I bought so many different courses and coaching programs, but they were always further along than I needed to be, Did I lose you? It's frozen again. Okay, all right.
I got
so it was always further along that I needed to be, so it was like, this is marketing or email marketing, but I don't even have a list, or how to run a challenge, but I don't have an audience, so it was always further than I need to be. And that's exactly what happened when I saw you in August. I needed to get my foundation straight. And that's what you've provided. You've provided the foundation. And I just feel so much more confident that I know where to go. And if I am lost, I can just reach out to you, and you're very responsive. I like that too. You're not one of those coaches who's unapproachable. You have a coach, but you can only talk with them during your scheduled session. And so in the time in between, you just have to, figure it out. And I needed to have that kind of access and that kind of hand holding. And you provided that.
And I'm in there too. I just sent you a message about your group.
Yes. Yes. You
fine tuning it.
Right? Yeah. You read all the posts, right? You can't do that for everyone, but what I'm saying is, some people, I don't know. I appreciate that I'm not alone, right? So you encourage us to do things, but then you're there as a support, so you read the posts, you join the group, and you respond, you communicate, you offer insight. To me, that's invaluable. You're not just some, looming figure who's just waiting for us to mess up, or who has you don't care either way. You just, you hired me and you figure it out along the way. So I really appreciate that you're so supportive.
So where are you now with your business as far as generating leads,
Yeah.
posting, responding
Mm.
to you? Like, what is happening?
Oh my goodness. It's crazy because one of the things I said, to you is, and one thing that you made clear is that a business isn't built overnight, right? So, and I was encouraged that you said, well, it's going to take about 3 months for you to, to get the momentum that you're looking for. And sure enough, it's been 3 months, right? And when I first joined, I had 800 Facebook friends, and they weren't my ideal clients. They were just people that requested me and I would accept, or vice versa. But since then and now, I have 1,900 Facebook friends, and so the difference is that the rest of them, that's what 1,000 people who are in my ideal market. They're my ideal clients. But added to that, I opened my Facebook group last night, and we already have over 100 people who've joined, because again, I'm talking to my ideal clients. So over 100 people have joined, and then I checked before we came on the call, and over 20 people are waiting to be admitted to the
Oh
group.
my goodness.
So yeah, and that's just overnight, right? So that's
Good,
amazing to
good.
me, right? So and that's that. So every day people are sending me messages in my inbox. I've been on discovery calls or strategy calls with a number of people, women who are my clients. My tribe is growing. When I make a post on Facebook, before they were like, they're crickets, or the only posts that ever got attention are the really emotional ones. And I had a really rough year last year, and so my friends and family would support those posts. But now when I make a post specific to my business, Dallas, 100 comments,
I know.
200 comments. I have a Facebook video that had 1.3 thousand views. That was 2 weeks ago. I was like, what? And that's on my personal page. I would have never imagined any of that kind of growth before. I'd make a video and I'd get maybe 100 views, right? I did a video yesterday. It's been shared, I think, 6 times already, because again, now it's so focused. I'm talking to my ideal clients. People are referring people to me. I have a few people I've spoken with over this past week who were in my inbox on a referral from someone else they know, who know what I'm doing. So now I'm so specific, I'm so focused that I'm the Hashimoto's girl, right? People know who I am for that, and that's what I wanted. That's exactly what I was looking for and didn't even know it. And so I'm excited about that. So I expect that November is going to be a killer month. I've had to hire help because it's just too much for me to handle by myself. And you've taught us how to do that as well. So there's just exponential growth between when we started and where we are, where I am now.
So everyone who's listening on to Heather, can you see her energy? Can you see the aliveness? Can you see the sparkle in her eye and the gleam, and her smile is from cheek to cheek? This is what happens when you finally hit your sweet spot and know how to use Facebook to get clients online. Suddenly there is so much energy in this box, on the screen, which before you seem so isolated from, right?
Right.
So what we were able to do is really create a pathway for people to find Heather, and for her to go out and tap them on the shoulder, and they come over to her, and she's talking to specifically this group of people, and they're like engaged, right?
Yes.
They're engaged.
Yes.
And now they're sharing with other people because she has what people want. Now she's opening up her group. We don't do it too quickly. And I advise all of you guys, don't just open a group and just think you can fill it overnight. You really want to be getting your personal page optimized and engagement there first, because if you can't get engagement on your personal page, you're not going to get it in the group. Right. And then eventually, like Heather says, this doesn't happen in a weekend, right? So we're at the month part. She's been practicing doing qualification calls and strategy calls in Messenger, and eventually she'll be able to get people more engaged in the group and then move them into her program because they're eager now, right? They're eager.
Yes.
They're eager.
Yes.
And they've been asking you, where's your group? Where's your group?
Right.
Where's
Right.
your group? So tell us about your program. Let's segue into that a little bit and tell us more,
Okay.
like who is your ideal client? So if anyone on here knows this type of woman, you may want to recommend Heather to someone because it's a very niche specific type of ideal client that you work with.
Yes. So I work with women ages 30 to 45 who have Hashimoto's or hypothyroid disease, which is when the thyroid doesn't produce enough thyroid hormone, and it causes all kinds of chaos in the body, right? These women tend to be very tired. We've gained weight and don't know why or how to lose it. Our hair's falling off, all sorts of, weird symptoms happen as a result of this disease. And so we have no energy. And so what I do is I help them to know how to put their disease in remission, which means just stop the symptom from spiraling out of control and how to feel well. So I work with women over 6 months, and I start with food. My focus is always on food because most of us are eating inflammatory things that are causing us to to be sick, even if they're billed as healthy foods. Sometimes our body just doesn't like them. And so I teach them how to eat, how to manage stress so that they can enjoy life and not, again, make themselves further ill. We also focus on detoxing as a way of life. It's not an event, but how do we make our lives less toxic on a daily basis so that we can, again, our bodies can cope with the stress that is under. And that's it. We just work on those 3 areas over the course of the 6 months. And we have seen, great results. We've lost, as a result of those things, women have, they lose weight, have lots more energy. And I did this. This is my passion because this was my life. All those symptoms I listed and more, I suffered for a number of years. And many of us who have this disease are undiagnosed for, 10, 15 years before we finally do have an answer. But even then, we're not really well with the medication. So, yeah, I'm excited. This is, my passion to help women to heal their bodies using food and just lifestyle intervention. And it's a 6-month program. And so, yay.
Great. So what's the name of your group? And maybe somebody in the feed can actually type it in. What's the name of your group?
I think it's Hashimoto. I just changed it, so it's hard to remember. It's Hashimoto's and Hypothyroid Wellness Community. I'm certain that's what it is.
Okay, great.
Most certain.
So if somebody could just type that in, say it again, Heather.
Hashimoto's and Hypothyroid Wellness Community.
Great.
Yeah.
And then, so if you know someone that could benefit from something like this, please go ahead and share it. That would be super. Thank you for doing that. So what are you looking forward to? No, let me back up before I ask you about the future. Tell people about how my program is in the container, what we call the features of the program with the videos and the structure and the calls. How does that work for you?
Oh man, it's amazing. I love it. First of all, when you first joined, and I remember, you kept on saying, it's not a sprint, right? Because the excitement of, getting on this new journey, you want to go through and listen to all the modules and, start checking off all the boxes, right? So when you first sign up, everything's already housed on the website. You can go in and you access whatever module you want to, but preferably in the order that is, that is listed there. But also we have the the weekly group calls where we get to ask questions. And I like that you are able to talk with each of us on the level where we are in our business, right? So some people are further ahead than I am on the journey. And so, their instructions are going to be different to mine. And then too, like I said, in between the group coaching calls, you're available via Messenger. If I'm having, an issue with an assignment or whatever, I can talk with you by Messenger. Or if it's not a private issue, then we have our Facebook group in which we can have a conversation. But also, I find that the women in the group are very supportive. They're very kind and they're very insightful. They're wise, right? And so, in as much as Dallas is doing the coaching, um, if I'm having an issue, like I was having an issue with, my morale the other day because someone did something, silly on my Facebook page, and I was able to share that in a safe space, with my buddies, and they were able to encourage me. Or if you're having issues figuring out, like your Facebook group name, you can come in there and have a conversation, and everyone can offer their input. So that's a really, really wonderful thing for me. But most importantly, it's step by step. Like, I don't know, when you first start a business, well, for me, I can say for me, I just want to help people get better. I just want to help you eat the food, do the exercise that's going to make you healthy. But I don't necessarily understand how to use Facebook. I don't know how to, create a group. I don't know how to get my message in front of the right people. And so Dallas being there and saying, okay, do this step first. Do this step next. Like I remember when I first started, I was all focused on trying to, create my group name and trying to figure out and she was able to say, no, that's sometime in the future, gently. She's so gentle. That's sometime in the future. You want to focus now on optimizing your Facebook page. Are you serious? That's amazing for me. So you always have someone who is always gonna to tell you what is relevant to you at that moment, not at some point in the future, or not have you distracted, which is easy for me, but not to be distracted doing all the things, but just to focus on this step, then this step, then this step. But also, there are lots of like spreadsheets, or there's spreadsheets and forms that I just see that they're going to be the cornerstone of building a business for years to come. Because once you have these systems in place, it's a matter of what, rinse and repeat, right? So I really like that about the program. It's very methodical, very well thought out. You have access to, doing it however you want to. But if you just follow the instructions step by step, then you'll get the results that you're looking for.
So thanks, Heather. So yeah, you could zip through it, or you can go then, but basically I'm going to slow you down and I'm going to ask you, where are you at? And then kind of reel you back in if you're out too far ahead of yourself, because you've got to get the foundation in there first. The same with content, right? Same with content too. And there's different types of content that you can put into and get the engagement going. So Jill is asking, it's not a one-to-one, it's a group coaching program, but whoever enrolls this week, or actually this week, you'll be put in with the rest of everyone, but you will get individual attention. And I've already opened it up that besides the one definite coaching call with me for an hour a month, if you have questions in between, I get on the phone with you. I'm like, I want you to succeed. So it's my program and I want people to succeed in it. So we get on the phone, we get on Facebook, audio, whatever it takes. We get on Zoom, we share screens, anything to move the needle forward so that you are going to build a dynamic business for yourself. So let me ask you now, Heather. So what are you most looking forward to with your business? Where do you see it going? What's the goal for you for 2021?
Oh my goodness. 2021. What I am most excited about is not being panicked and stressed about knowing what to do. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but when you start doing a business on Facebook, you hear you have to post this many times a day, you have to go in all these different groups and reach out to this many people and do all this stuff. I'm in such a different space now than I was 3 months ago. I know that I need to, make my post on my page to be visible. I know that I need to, talk to my, people, build relationships. I know exactly what to do to keep going from here to now. And then from here to 2021, I can see how as some of these things become routine, then I can hire or delegate some of these, things to staff Right now, staff is my family, my husband and my son.
Good, great. My husband helps
Yeah.
out too.
Yes, right. So that's my staff. I've tried doing the VA thing and it hasn't worked, but there are plenty of good VAs out there, so I'll keep looking. But yeah, so I can see me delegating some of these things because they become, and that's what you teach with the content prompts, they become routine, right? And so that I can focus on coaching. I can focus on my one-to-one, and I can focus on eventually in 2021 having a group program, for some of my clients. There's so many things on the horizon now, but the major thing for me is that I have, I'm sure, I'm very confident about my business being a business in the future. Not like, it's a hobby and I'm trying to figure things out. No, I have a full-fledged business now, Dallas, right? I've got leads.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. So yeah. So I have a hope and a future, and the path is it's right in front of me. That doesn't mean that there are not days when things happen, and that's um let me just say that that's important for me to point out because my life is really busy. Wife, 4 kids, we homeschool. We've always homeschooled, but with COVID, we can't go very many places, so we're always home. My parents are over 70. My dad has dementia, and my life is full. Is my point. Our life is very full at home, and so with Dallas's system, I sometimes, like there's a whole day when I can't get to what I'm supposed to do, get as fast as I should. But because I have a system in place, I can always come back. I don't have to, when I go, I don't have to be stressed about, oh, well, what do I need to do to get back on track? I know for sure that the next day I need to come back and I need to make my post and I need to do these, I need to do these 10 things, right? And that's very refreshing. There's no more uncertainty. I know for sure what I need to do. And if I do those things, I get the result I'm looking for. And that I think is the greatest benefit of your program is that, the certainty of the future.
Fantastic. So what would you tell people that are on the fence, thinking about joining Group Growth, Impact, and Prosperity? They're just on the fence. Should I or shouldn't I? You tell them to jump?
Hop off the fence carefully because you might fall, and then just burst the door wide open and run in, man. I'm telling you, there's nothing to lose. And there really isn't. You even have a guarantee, I think. Don't you have a guarantee? Yes, because we talked about that. I was like, well, Dallas, okay, well, it's 30-day. I remember talking with you about that, but forget the guarantee. My approach to life is that if you are playing to win, you'll win. Right. So if you're approaching this program as, well, let me see if it's going to work, then, you've already come in with the mindset that it might fail. But the program's wonderful. Dallas is wonderful. If you have connected with her, and if you connect with anybody else in the group, you'll see that, the vibe is great. But if you've come in and 30 days later you realize, well, this isn't working for me, all the tasks, it's not yielding anything, you've got nothing to lose, but you've got to try something. Now, if you're in a space in your business where you're like, I don't really know if I want to deal with all this growth and prosperity, I don't want any more clients, or I don't want any money, then by all means, don't jump, stay on the fence. But if you want to see your business grow exponentially, you want to have an actual market, you want to have an audience where when you speak people listen, you want to have an influence in the world, an impact in the world, then for sure this is definitely the place for you to come if you're so you can get started.
Wow. Yes. So I hope we're going to see some people reach out and say their time is now. Really, yeah. There's no better time than now. There's nothing to wait for anymore.
Nothing to wait.
So anything else you want to add, Heather, before we wrap this up? And
nothing. I think I've done enough fangirling for today. Dallas is wonderful. I'm grateful for the work you do. I'm grateful for your patience and your generosity. You're always giving. And I'm telling you guys, I've done so many coaching programs. I've done the group programs. I've done the hybrid coach. I've bought the courses. and there's nothing else like this. There just isn't. This is a great way to start. Dallas is wonderful, and I'm glad for all the energy and the time that you've put into, thinking this thing through, and helping us new coaches to figure out business. Thank you.
Yeah. And it's so exciting to watch you grow. I mean, that's the best part, is to watch you grow. And just like the light bulb is going off. Aha, yes. Aha. Oh, this is how it happens. Oh, look, they're responding to me. And it's interesting. In the beginning, everyone is kind of uncomfortable because you're doing things that you haven't done before. Right. And then all of a sudden, boom, it just opens up. And I love that. I just love that. I love seeing it. I love seeing the growth. I love seeing people start to get clients and then see exactly how we do it, marketing and sales on Facebook, right? Yes. And the delivery and operations of the whole Megillah. So let's wrap up here, you guys. I don't have any more questions. One person asked, she doesn't, I don't know who it is. Do you still take medication? I just got off Armor. Maybe what you can do is we'll get off of this live and you can go into the comments and answer whoever that is.
Sure.
Because I don't see who it is now. So yeah, the rest of everyone is jumping on and off here. So great. All right, you guys, that's what we've got today. Thank you so much, Heather. And I will see you on Wednesday.
Yes, ma'am.
And everyone else, tomorrow I'm doing a testimonial slideshow, Power of Testimonials at 11 o'clock, bonus session. So see you then. Okay, everyone. Ta-ta.
Bye.
Bye.